Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you again for tuning in. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I believe is very interesting. Everyone's always telling you what you can't do. Everyone's always telling you what's not going to work. I know it's not just me. I like being able to do what I do to realize, a lot of us think that we're alone and no one else is doing to you what you see and what's going on with someone else. But in reality, all of us are dealing with some things that is very, very fascinating that I want to talk about today. And that's come down to the concept of how there's so many people out here that tell you that what it is that you're doing, what it is that's going on with you, it's not going to work. You're not going to make it. You're not going to succeed. That's not going to be able to bring you anywhere. I don't know why you're even still doing that. Nothing's going to happen with it. And it really just gets me thinking. It gets me thinking a lot about how and why. How and why that comes to us and happens to us. Why do we have so many people out there that are just completely against everything that you do? And as if they have this is the part that I believe is most confusing about it. That why for me, I just have to kind of go into my beliefs and what I believe. Because I know it's not the person itself, it's a spirit behind them. That's why I don't get angry or frustrated and mad at people anymore. And I can't even get mad and angry and frustrated at my own self anymore. Because I know that the people that are doing what they're doing, they're not doing it. It's something in them that's driving them to do it. That, in just my belief, it's the negativity that they don't understand how to be able to get what it is that you have. Because it always comes down to, not always, but it always comes down to when you are actually doing something of anything substantial value. And that's different for all of us. We all have different things that we are just doing in our day to day. And you know what's crazy is most cases, the people come in that ain't gonna work. That's not going anywhere. That's not gonna do anything. It comes down to a part of your life that you don't really care that much about. And you don't care that much about it. And then it really gets you thinking, because it's like the stuff that I care a lot about, why aren't they saying that about that? But just the background things. Everyone's got everything to say about what's going on and how I need to be and how this is going to go anywhere. So it can really make you think. And I believe that that's the point of it. That spirit to do that to you, to get you to get away from what it is that you should be focusing your time on, to get you to nitpick something that you never even cared about. But yet many people and many opportunities are coming that this stuff is just talk bashing you about that you're just that's 5% of my life. I don't care. I don't care if that's perfect or not. I don't care if that's the best or the greatest looking. I don't care. But yet you're getting so much, so it focuses you to get away from the said 95, 90% of what you do want to do, to focus on that a little bit. And it takes you away from doing what you're supposed to be doing. I've realized that I've stumbled into this, what I've been doing with just talking videos about doing what I'm doing. I get a lot of people that tell me that what I do is not going to work. You'll never be able to get a high energy, high active, on the go dog to be able to calm down. And straight up, folks, I know my videos are primarily been talking about dogs. This is why for me, I think that I'm at 90% there of I'm going to take the lettering off the van, shut the website down, and just stop being advertised as a dog trainer. Because that's 5% of my life. Not even. It's not even 5%. It's just say 5 to make it sound better. There's 95% of my life out there that I want to put way more focus into, way more time, way more dedication into. 5% of my life, people are trying to just talk down and discredit everything about me because of the 5%. And I've been allowing that spirit to just consume me, to get stuck in that, as opposed to looking at the majority of what I really want to be able to do on this planet. 5% people are oh, that's not going to work. This isn't going to work. But yet when I'm living and I see it, this is the part with me. I believe that I'm not a dog trainer because I don't do what dog trainers do. And I do it in a sense that it may seem that way, but I'm just living. Something as simple as what I'm doing right now. I'm not showing off. I'm just hanging out. Where dog trainers have to show off what they have, because they have to prove that they are somebody. So they have to show off. They have to do the competition obedience routines. They have to do the sports and do all this stuff to show off. See, I know what I'm doing. And that's not who I am. That's not at all what I've ever been when I've been working with animals. Because again, It's 5%. Whereas for, I'm going to say a dog trainer, it's like 95% of what they do. 5% of me is me just hanging out with my dogs. Me taking extreme, because this is a thing with me, people, that I don't think a lot of people understand. The 95% I talk about is not the animal, but me. I've been extremely anxious my whole life since I can remember. I've been extremely just paranoid. I mean, paranoid. It's finally getting better, but paranoid. Like, me just being here, I wouldn't be here without my dogs. This is one reason that I have the dogs with me. It's not to work the dogs, to get the dogs to look good. It's to get me to be able to live in this planet so that I can come into a place like this and feel comfortable. I feel confident right now, very confident, because I have my dogs with me. And I'm taking purposely these like extreme cases out of these dogs that are just wild, that are just jumping all crazy, they're just act a fool, because that's me. That's me. That's who I am. I don't display it to the world. This fascinating video I was watching last night about the whole concept of like wearing the mask. I don't show to the world that I'm anxious, I'm irritated, I'm paranoid, I'm any of this stuff. I show the world that I'm neutral is what I want to stay. And my mission has been how to actually be neutral. That's my 95% of I've been trying to figure out, because I'm not only just noticing my own self, especially going through the military and going to the way I got out of the military and going to a lot of group counselors and group sessions and substance abuse classes. I've been through like so much stuff that it just let me realize, yeah, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's like paranoid as all can be. Paranoid, I believe, is one of the most challenging things to deal with on this planet, because you're never able to relax, because you're always, what's going to happen, what's going down. I'm always nervous that someone is going to try to like take my life. And then I had a revelation of life of just realizing that who cares? Do it. I don't care at this moment. And that's allowed me to be able to relax. And that was a part of me being able to help these dogs out. And what's fascinating to me is seeing these dogs be so anxious, so hyper, so just wild and crazy, so schizophrenic, so paranoid, and me being able to get them to relax. I'm looking at that like there's hope for me, and there's also hope for other people. So 5% of my life, people are telling me you're not going to be able to work with, you're not going to be able to do to get me to get away from the main focus of what it is that I want to be able to do on this planet. Someone left a very interesting comment on my last video that's the main reason. Main videos that I've been making is someone giving a book recommendation in reality, and a book that I've recommended months ago as well. And a guy that I recommend a lot of people listen to, it's just Ross Rosenberg and his Human Magnet Syndrome book. I've read both of those. I've read everything that man has produced, because that's what truly matters on this planet. Me worrying about getting these dogs good, that's someone else. That's a dog trainer. Your whole world is consumed in that. You want to be like the best dog trainer. That's not me. I want to be the person to be able to explain to somebody how to be able to get you through the struggles that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And to me, a dog is a quick, easy way for you to be able to realize what's going on in your life. When I say you're not patient enough, that's why your dog is acting a fool, that's true. That's facts. It's because there's something in you that you're not able to settle down into. You're not able to sit down. This just past couple of days, I've literally been straight up doing something that is almost impossible for today day and age stuff. Is sit in complete silence. I've been driving in silence. I've been sitting at home just on the patio in silence, just listening to the animals, just listen to the dogs breathe, listen to the cows breathe, listen to the chickens bucking and clucking, do what they're doing. In complete silence. No music, no videos, no nothing. Just silence. To what I want to say is ground me back into understanding what it is that I'm doing. And what it is that I'm doing is not to help a dog. It may sound messed up, but some of y'all love dogs. And that's cool and all, but that's not my purpose. I got stuck in that purpose because of people telling me what I can't do and what I'm not going to be able to have and how things aren't going to be able to work out for me. And I'm just like, I go day by day, and then I just look at what I have going on, and I'm like, that's not true. And that's, again, the thing that I greatly appreciate about my faith is the devil is a liar. Those negative spirits, they're liars. They're not truthful in any way. They are straight up liars. They have no understanding of how to be able to be truthful. They just lie. They lie and they lie and they lie. Because I could just simply stand here and just see what it is that I'm looking for. Again, I don't show off with my dogs. I'm just living with them. And when someone tries to come in and lie to me about what's not going to work, it discourages one, because it comes in powerful, because they know how to attack you. The way that you get attacked is different than the way that I can get attacked, because I value different things. And I've been getting attacked in a way I sense, because something wants me to get away from doing what it is that I should be doing, which is the core of why I started YouTube, is to help people out. Not to help people out and have a good dog, but to help you out, because there's something with you that's going on that you're in the same case as me. Paranoid, anxious, depressed, suicidal, worried, nervous, just on edge, just all these words. You got all this stuff. You go in, you're trying to get help from the counselors can't help you. You're trying to get help from the medication's not helping you. You try to go to the doctors can't help you. You try to go to your family can't help you. You're trying to go everywhere. And then you go everywhere to the point that you just decide to give up on it and just say, this is just what it is. This is who I am. And I've been in that. And I've been able to figure out a different way to be able to get around that, realizing that that's not true. And there's something out there that wants to keep you in that small part of your life, that 5% that you don't really care about, but something is like attacking you that it makes you care about it more. It's like, what should I need to worry about this? Why do I need to care about that? And then it draws your focus on that. And then it makes your world smaller and smaller and smaller. And it makes your world so small that you're like, I can't get out of this. I can't go anywhere else. My world got so small in the past couple of months because all I was looking at was dogs. I wasn't even looking at my rabbits, my chickens, the cows. I wasn't really focusing on that. I was focused on dogs. I wasn't focused on anything. All I've been focused on is the 5% of my life of like, how do I make this better? How do I do this? How do I talk about this? How do I make this? As opposed to broadening my world up and realizing I have more to be able to work with here. And I believe this is a problem that goes on with a lot of us. And you don't even have to believe to have these problems, in my opinion. I believe that it's just lessons that we all have to be able to figure out how to be able to work through, to be able to get past. Because when all you're doing is focusing on this one thing, you're living in agony. You're living in chaos. You're living in anger. You're living in frustration. As opposed to realizing who are you? What is your, I don't want to use this word because people like to use it inappropriately, but like, what is your gift to be able to help someone else out with? As opposed to, for me, I guess this is why for me it's complicated with these dogs, because I could see how they're like even how he's looking at me right now. I could see how they're attached to us, but in reality, these dogs are only just being us, and it's not like they're different than us as humans. They're much different. As much as I really like them, they're just a part of the world. They're not the world. Like humans are not the world. We are not the world. We're a part of the world. But we are the ones that are a part of the world that are the hardest to get through our issues, I guess I can say. Again, why I choose the dogs that are crazy. I chose the craziest dog in the kennel. The craziest, the one that's bit people, that's done the damage, that just had no care to want to listen to a single person. The dog that just had no desire to want to care about a human at all. All it looked at humans is, I can get what I want from you. You better play with me. If not, I'm going to bite you to make you do that. You better give me the food. If you don't, I'm going to bite you. You better give it to. I take the most chaotic thing to be able to see that I could take that chaos and turn it into calm. To realize that I can do that with everything else. But for some reason, us as humans, we are the most challenged to be able to do that. It is the hardest for us to go from chaos to calm, to go from happy to calm, to overexcited to calm. We are the hardest. Everything else, man, days, months, we can get there. But humans, something can happen to us at the age of 3 that we die at the age of 103. We live 100 years with that trauma and never get through it. And we just deal with it. And we think that we can't get past it. It's just who we are. It's just what it is. I believe that that's probably the hardest part with me, that when I see these dogs, is I see them get better than I'm not. And then that's where I try to put the same practices that I do with the dogs into my own self. And I'm like, but it's not working. Why am I not getting better the way I see these dogs getting better? How did I take this Dalmatian that came to me as this just energy, this like excitement that was so much, that was she was an explosion of just having to go do stuff, to be able to get her to the point of months later to be able to just lay down and hang out no matter where I go, no matter what is around, no matter what's going on. She may get excited if something is chasing and moving something, but she never gets to that point. I mean, just more time. Just see on a comparison of where I was to where I am, to see how relaxed that she could be with doing nothing at all. It impresses me to the point of just realizing like what's capable. But then I'm like, why am I not getting there? Why can't I do that to my own self? Why am I struggling with being able to calm down? Why am I struggling with getting away from being paranoid? Why am I struggling with all these things that I can see these dogs and the cows and, oh my goodness, all my animals across the board? Coming to my house, it's one thing that anyone's ever going to say. Your animals are relaxed, man. They calm. They're so polite. They're so chill. All my animals are. Across the board, the donkey to everything I have, they are just so relaxed. So enjoyable to be around. Everything may not be pretty. My fences are falling over and everything looks like crap. I look like I'm not really surviving, but somehow I'm still alive. But the one thing that everyone says about all the animals is like, wow, it is just peaceful. It's peaceful. Even my roosters are peaceful at this moment today. Everything's just peaceful. Everything is just so relaxed. And I've been working so hard to be able to get all of that relaxed, to figure out how to be able to get my own self there. And that's the main things that I have been getting away from talking about, because I've been focusing on the 5% of the dog. And the bigger message here that I've always been putting out, that some of y'all understand it, but some of y'all don't. And it's got nothing to do with dogs. Even though I've been talking about dogs, it's gonna sound messed up, but I don't care about dogs. I care about you, the person that's able to listen to this. Because if I can get you to be able to get into a better place, the animal is going to follow you. I've been working backwards. The same backwards that I see a lot of people do in life, I've been working backwards in a backwards sense that people are working backwards. It might sound complicated, but I've been working backwards in a sense of, if I get the dog calm, I'll be calm. And it hasn't worked all that well that way. It only works good once I'm good to be calm, once I'm secure with myself, once I'm able to deal with my own self. My dog will finally come along and be that way with me. And my animals will be able to be that way with me. That's the mission that I'm on with trying to figure out this world. And I started with getting everything around me to relax, because I'm going off that understanding that a lot of us live by. If everything else is good, then I'll be good. Once I got the right money, then I'll be good. Once I get the right job, then I'll be good. When I get the right kids and a spouse, then I'll be good. When the dog is good, I'll be good. When my parents treat me right, then I'll be good. And the world doesn't work that way. The world works in a way that once you are good, then that will be good. Because what starts to happen is, what's cool about dogs over humans, I can say in that sense, is the dog will want to come to you. Humans, some are going to start to separate and push away. It has to happen. That's going to happen. Because you're going to get to a point that the stuff that they do is not going to be able to affect you anymore. Because for some reason, again, it's hard for me to blame people. I know not to blame people today. People say the most craziest stuff to me, and I know not to blame a person. It's the destructiveness that's inside of people that I don't even believe people even realize that they're saying. They're just doing stuff based on like something is overtaking them to make them do what they do. That's why you should never be mad at a person. Never be mad at another human. I don't care what they do to you. Even if they take your child's life, don't be mad at that person. That person didn't do it. Something inside of them was driving them to do that. And you can't, that's something that I just know to be very, very powerful. What's been able to really relax me and calm me down, and realize that what people say, some of y'all leave comments, so don't worry about what haters have to say. I've had haters since like 2 years old. That's normal to me. It's not the person, it's the spirit behind that person that's trying to attack me that gets me to self-reflect. What am I doing? Because it's letting me, in my opinion, it's letting me realize and know that I'm headed the wrong direction. I'm headed in the wrong direction. The more and more people that keep trying to attack me with the things that I don't really care a lot about, the more I realize I'm in the wrong direction, that I need to adjust and go somewhere different. And I believe that that's a challenge that I don't think a lot of people quite understand. That's why for me, when I state that I'm a Bible believer and people are just like, oh, no, I look at it completely different. I have a different lens on it than the mainstream media has with it. I have a different lens when I hear the name of Jesus and understand who he is and what he's all about. Well, God, I have a different lens on that than what like majority of everybody has. The same way that y'all hear me talk about these dogs, the same way y'all hear about me talking about shutting the TV off, that I do what no one else, not no one, but most people don't do. And I believe in it completely differently because I want to truly understand it. I don't want to just listen and hear some stuff that makes me feel good. I want to know that there's some stuff that I'm doing that I need to get the heck away from. And it sucks because I liked it, but I can't do it. And I don't want to pair, what do you call it? Just pick and choose little verses that just go along with what I want to be able to be true. No, no, I don't look at it that way. I look at it in the way that there's things out here that I have to work on. It's not something that's just going to magically, miraculously just happen and then I'll be happy. No, I have to do all of the work and then I'll be able to get somewhere. And the number one thing that I do know that's been able to really just help me out with that is stop caring about what's actually on this planet. Stop caring so much about the dog. Stop caring so much about your spouse. Stop caring so much about your children and the trees and the squirrels and the skunks and the spiders we're caring so much. We're caring so much about right now. I believe one of the biggest challenges that's going on with us, and not even just in this country, but like for some reason around the world, everyone is so worried about this whole political stuff that's going on. Who's going to be the president? Who does it? Stop caring so much about the world. We're caring so much about all these little things that are all around here that we need not to worry about. And the more and more that you're focusing on all of that, that's what, again, that's your 5% I like using the word the enemy. The enemy is trying to force into you to make you pay attention to, as opposed to the abundance that we're supposed to be out here living with. And that's what I've been wanting to be able to talk about. But for some reason, I've been getting slammed with your dog this and you can't this and you can't that, you can't have this, this isn't gonna work, that's not gonna go anywhere. And I've been just proving that month after month recently with every video I'm making of saying for every single person out there right now that says that what I do with these dogs isn't gonna work, I guarantee, I know you're wrong because I could see it with my life, with what I do with them, with where I go with them, with how people interact with them. I met like four people along the way up here. Every single person looks at my dogs today, even Kahi. This dude used to be wild, but he's not wild no more. People are just like, oh, no, he's good. They all want to pet them. They all want them to, oh, come up here. It's okay. It's okay. I move off the side of the trail and they just stop and they're like, hey, can I meet your dogs? Every single person today wants to meet them. Every single dog wants to meet them. I know that what I do works, but yet I still going to have multiple people that are going to say to me, that's not going to go anywhere. That's not going to do anything. And I'm like, that's the part where, again, it's not the haters. It's something, in my opinion, that's nudging you to say, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You need to get back over there. So that's what, in reality, I'm going to always keep shifting and focusing my energy on. And my channel, I talk about dogs because dogs are my life. So you still watch my videos. It's not like you're not going to hear me talk about my dogs. I talk about my dogs all the time. Because I got a very interesting video I want to make about this Dalmatian of a very interesting thing that I've realized about her. In just seeing how the longer that she's with me, she starts to be like me. She used to meet everyone and want to be around. She's cool with being around people. She doesn't want anybody touching her. I don't like people touching me. When the COVID stuff happened, they were like, stop giving hugs and stop doing handshakes. I was like, praise the Lord for that. Because I can't stand touching people. I can't stand people touching me. I don't know what it is with me. I don't like it. And now she's starting to become that way. She's starting to become me. She was like herself. She has a little bit of independence, but she's starting to be like me. And because she's with me, she's the one that's with me more than all my other dogs. She's with me. She's starting to be me. She's starting to resemble everything about me. And it's a fascinating thing for me to be able to watch. Because if I was anxious, what do you think she would be? If I was paranoid, what do you think that she would be? Why she still has a little bit in there? Because I still have a little bit in there that I'm still trying to figure out how to be able to work through. And that's my main mission that I've been trying to get through into this life, is how to be able to get myself away from all of these like negative things that are inside of me. Because in reality, they just get more and more exploited out because of what other people outside have to keep on saying. And they're not saying it because they even know me. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know me. No one knows me. Now, you've been watching me for a couple of months in my videos. You pretty much know me because this is just who I am. I don't know how to be different on a video because it's the one thing why I can't stand most YouTube people anymore. I used to be able to just watch it and then just whatever, get a laugh, but it's hard for me to watch because I know you're putting a character on. I put a character on that I'm stable, I'm calm, I'm patient, but I'm no longer putting that character on because that's just what I'm starting to become. I'm starting to actually be that, but I wasn't that. And that's why it's been hard for me to transition to do what I do. But this past like 3 years of my life, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm just, you talk to me now, this is who I am. It's who I am. How I speak, how I interact, how all that is, I just do what I do. I don't have much anymore that I have to like hide who I am, because I'm no longer so having so many of the issues that I used to have. But yet I see so many people that are having those issues, the same issues. And for a while, I really didn't even want to talk to dogs. But since I was trying to be a said dog trainer to help people, and then I started to realize that I'm not a trainer. I'm not coming in to help people. The main people that I've helped, this is why for me, what I do, I'm thinking about time, thinking about I don't want to do this anymore, because I'm putting so much time for free to people to help you with their dog, and you actually get help with it. But these people aren't saying to their friend, this person helped me with their dog, because when I come to you and I'm in your home and we're not talking about dogs. We're not talking about fixing any of that. We're talking. We're having a conversation. Something that we just don't do anymore. I don't come in and just fix your problem. I'm going to say to you, you got greater problems to fix than this silly dog. You got much you got much greater problems than worrying about the dog. And that's why most people get help. But when you really understand that, I don't get a referral, because it's hard for us to talk about. It's hard for any of us to say, I go to a counselor weekly. I talk to a psychiatrist monthly. I take these pills because I'm not doing good. No one talks about that. And that's in reality what I'm talking about when it comes down to working with these dogs. I'm that counselor, that private session that's coming in to talk about what's actually going on right now, what's actually happening. And you don't really refer out your counselor to people. Some of y'all do, but no, we don't do that. You don't say, I've talked to this person, they've really been able to help me out. So that's why for me, I'm at a standstill of worrying about helping people with dogs, because it's not gonna get me anywhere. I'm putting in too much time and I'm not getting anything from it. And I could do stuff for free, but that the world isn't set up that way. We got to work. We got to do stuff. I'm falling behind. And I got to do stuff. I can't just have everything just be for nothingness. And I'm never going to go back to the sense of, I do know how to make money on just going back to dog training. I don't want to do that. That's not at all anything that I want to be a part of. And that's what I am, because that's the 5%, I guess I can say. And for me, it's a matter of understanding that there's always going to be someone that's going to tell you that what you're doing isn't going to work. There's always going to be someone that tells you that you're not going to make it. There's always going to be someone that's going to constantly keep on doing that to you. And for me, that's a key indicator of letting you know that your focus is in the wrong place. Your focus, your time, your energy is in the wrong place. You need to put it somewhere else. Everything that you got going on is setting you up in this life to be able to, in my opinion, to succeed. But there's stuff on this land, when you're paying attention to the world, it's going to make you fail. When you stop paying attention to it, then you'll be able to figure out how to be able to succeed. When you just focus so much on, oh my goodness, my dog, you're focusing on the world. The dog is the world. Your own body is the world. Your friends, your family, everything is of the world. When you're so focused on that, you're focused on the wrong mission, on the wrong goal. And you're not going to be able to do anything for anybody, but just only help yourself. That's why for me, again, a lot of what I've said in my last video of I'm being selfish. I'm just talking to myself, making these videos. And that's the last thing to be able to do, to be able to like make anything happen on this planet. I'm just convincing people to stay into focus on this, focus on the dog, focus on the dog, focus on the dog. Dog isn't gonna, you're not gonna get anywhere by doing that. Like me being a researcher and doing my studies, it's not gonna bring you the joy that you're looking for. The dog is cool because it replicates and mimics us, but the dog wants to follow us. When you're trying to follow the dog, you're struggling right now. And that's unfortunate with like a lot of people. Why people need dog trainers today. Why you need the trainer, because you're trying to follow the dog. The dog's gonna follow me. And that may sound weird to some folks, but I'm not here to even my children, even a spouse, even everything. I'm not here to follow my child. I'm not here to follow the dog. I'm not here to follow my wife. I'm not here to follow my dad. I'm here to learn some stuff from them, but I'm here to go and do what it is that I need to do. And they're going to come and they're going to follow and then they're going to come and be along with me. Follow is not the word because we get stuck in that. Oh, everyone's got to follow. You want to be that leader. It's not the sense. Leader and follower are words that are made up by human beings that are inappropriate words to use. They're not the words that we should be, at least what the definitions of them today mean. They're meaningless words. They're words that are set us up to make us still be trapped and to not be able to do. Every single person on this planet is a leader. Every single person on this planet is a follower. Every single animal is a follower. Every single animal is a leader. Every single tree is a follower. Every single tree is a leader. They are both of the same. There's not one that's just one. This is the problem why I'm not a dog trainer, because that's what dog trainers thrive to be, the leader, the one that's got all the answers for you. I do not ever want that responsibility because there's only one being, the God that created all this, that is the leader of it all, that knows all of the information. And when we're trying to go to these people to get this information, they're going to set you for failure instantly, right up front, because they don't know it all. They do not have all of the information figured out. They know what works in their sense. Again, for me, I know what works for me and I see what works for me. When I talk about what I do, works for me. Does it work for you? I don't know. That's why I don't want to talk about it no more. Because I know it works for me though, but I'm me. And I've been praying and asking and just praying and asking a lot what it is I need to do with these dogs to be able to get me to get into a good place. And I've figured it out. But that's me in my lane. And the dogs are going to want to follow me and listen to me. They're going to lead me when they need to lead me. They're going to follow me when I need them to follow me. We're working back and forth. I'm not just going to, you better submit to me. You better do everything I tell you to do. No, that's not the way things work. That's not the way that this life is. I'm always working back and forth the entire time, all the time. And that's where I believe a lot of us are struggling with, especially with the dog, because everyone's like, that dog needs to submit to you. That dog needs to, no, don't need to submit to me. And I submit to my dogs. They do stuff that I'm like, you got the lead, man. Especially this dog. Man, that's two of the best dogs right here, breeds that I believe that I have. Border Collie is cool, but he's cool only because he can move the animals around. Outside of that, he's a dog. My Johnny, man, he's a pet. I'm not big into the pet dogs. Again, I believe that the working animals are the best animals. The ones that have the most energy, they could do stuff for us. Like these two breeds here are amazing animals to be able to like do so much. They could do so much for you. It's so absolutely incredible. And it's a matter of me figuring out how to be able to work with them back and forth. This dog loves to lead. He loves to just let me know what's coming up. Let me know what's going on. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible. To have a dog like this out here, what I'm doing, I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about anything coming up behind me, anything coming up in front, on the side, anything going on. It's absolutely incredible. So I don't want him to submit to me. You better do what I tell you to do. I said do this, you better do this. That's not how we function in these lands. But yet that's how we've came to us as humans have created. You better follow me. I know the answer. You better bow down to me. We got a pope. You better bow down and get down and kiss my ring. Seriously? That's not how we treat each other. But that's what we're doing. And that's unfortunately what I got into a little bit when just focusing on dog based on people telling me what I can't do. You tell somebody what they can't do, what's the one thing that they do? They do it. They make it happen. But most people, unfortunately, you make it happen in a very, very negative, toxic way, which I've been doing. And I don't want to be in that anymore. Thank you. Hey, guys. I'll never forget one of my most meaningful comments, I believe. Don't take this the wrong way. Anyone that's written anything great about what it is going on with your dogs and listening to what I have to say about getting things into a better place. There's one comment that I'll never forget. And it comes down to, in a sense of someone trying to be negative. And again, it's hard for me to really see the negative because I understand where it's coming from. But someone straight up said, I'd never listen. It wasn't even talking to me. It was talking to the people that watch me. Never listen to a guy that says he's a trainer that has a leash around his waist and his dog's with him. And or I think it's something about being on the harness as well. I could switch to the harness, it don't matter. But it just really got me thinking about like how everyone has the right answers, but no one's living the right answer. I hope that makes sense, because it makes sense to me. Everyone has like, they know how to do it, but they can't do it themselves. Everyone knows what they're looking for, but they can't get it themselves. It's a fascinating thing to be able to just really witness on this planet, of seeing how, unfortunately, majority of people want to see you fail. Even your own family, unfortunately. Majority of the planet wants you to fail. And when you start to succeed at something, the pressure is really going to start to come on to really try to make you fail even more. And that's the main thing that I want to be able to talk about. Because just try to get your dog to be good, trying to do any of that, you know, that's one thing. But how to be able to consistently do it, how to be able to do it over and over again, how to be able to do it in any scenario, any situation, that's where things start to get a little more complicated. That's where, for me, day one, when I remember all the language that I used to give when I would go to people's houses with helping folks with their dogs in my old ways of doing it. I would always say, you know, I'm going to help you out with this dog, but this isn't going to work on another dog. Because that's true. That's what, unfortunately, most dog training is. That's why you could like go to a trainer on one dog. If you actually got the right information, you would be able to do that with all dogs. And in reality, you would be able to have enough information, enough knowledge to be able to help everyone else out. But you don't. You only know how to work with that one dog. And you have to like put so much time and energy into that one. But what I talk about is completely different than that. You're not going to be able to work with any of them. All of them. It's not just this one type of dog, but you yourself will be able to understand how to be able to adapt to be able to work with it all. Because it's not the dog, it's you. When you work on you to be able to get yourself to new habits, to new ways of being, everything else around you is going to want to start to be able to work with you instead of working against you. Because that's a fact how I used to do things. I used to help folks out because I don't know why. You know, your money tight. You only want help with the one dog. Most people, crazy as today, have like 2 or 3 dogs. No one just has one dog anymore. It's like just one dog is cool enough, people. You know, I got multiples, but I'm different. I do a lot. I like animals like crazy. A lot of y'all don't like animals like I like animals. And you got like 3 dogs, and it always makes you question. Especially when you got 3 dogs and like the first one was crazy, so it's like, let's get a second one. The second one is crazy, let's get a third one. I mean, I've done that myself, getting this dog, and this dog was still crazy, but it it is what it is. That's a part of human behavior that I'm just learning more. I'm trying to figure out more of. But I help you out with that one dog, and the dog looks good. And they're like, okay, well, then you try to do that stuff on your other dogs, and you realize you're not getting help. Then you give me a call up again. Hey, can you help me out with this dog? And I can help you with that dog. And now those 2 are looking pretty good. You got a good way. Then you're like, oh, this stuff doesn't work on this dog. Can I get some help with this dog? It's a fascinating system, how that is, because that lets me know that you're working on, again, the 5% of your life instead of the 95% of your life. You should focus more on the main show of your life, of realizing that when you are good, the things around you are also going to be good. But when you are chaos, the things around you are going to be chaos. I don't know how to explain that simpler, but I'm going to continue to keep on trying. Because I do know that when the so-called haters come in, you're doing something. And you're doing something that it's trying to get you to get away from. To get away from what you should be working on, what you should be paying attention to. And that's something that I believe that we should all really think hard about. When you're at work and you got people that are just trying to hit you hard on what you're doing is good to go. But stop focusing on that, and you need to get back and focus on your main thing that you need to worry about in life. Because that's where we're not growing anymore. And that's just personally what I see with what's going on with us is a human species today. We're not growing spiritually, emotionally anymore. We're kind of like going downhill. We're allowing people to just use and abuse us because they're keeping you in what you shouldn't be focusing in on. Everyone today, not everyone, but man, everyone I know, and especially here in the States, they're so focused on this election right now. Oh my goodness, this election, you're so focused on that. They're forcing you to focus on that and not pay attention to the main thing that you should be focusing on in your life right now. And that's stuff that is really unfortunate that we're so easily to get stuck into it. But it's something that my recommendation, you want to get a nicer life, shut it all off. Shut the TV off, movies off, shut the YouTube off, shut the music off, shut it all off. Go outside. I don't know how to explain how being outside really makes you better, but it somehow just does. Go outside. Stay outside. Sit outside and listen to the world. Don't be in the world the way of watching it and consuming it, but just listen to it and just hang out and just appreciate it for what it is. And that's going to be able to bring something to you that is going to be incredible. But for some reason, that's like frowned upon today. But that's like the majority of what your life should be focused on. It shouldn't be focused on the things that are going on, all this battles and this war and all this chaos. No. Because the more you focus on that, the more that's going to start to become into your household. You bring it in, we bring it in our houses. Bad enough we got the TVs at some point. I remember our old TV. We had this old, huge 2-box TV. Thing was like 500 pounds. And then now we got TVs. I got a TV in my phone, in my pocket right now. We're bringing all of it into our home. And then we're wondering why there's chaos in our homes. It's fascinating to think about.